Venga. Caballeros, ustedes recibieron sus instrucciones. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Aquí está bien, aquí no. De la cintura para arriba. Yo quiero una pelea limpia. Escúcheme, cuídate. ¿Listo? Vámonos.
Hey, I want to take a little bit. Okay.
They fight for national pride, honor, and boxing history. Puerto Rican powerhouse Juan Manuel Lopez, the rangy southpaw, ready for the toughest and most important test of his career. Veteran Rafael Marquez gunning for a third division title. Can the battle-tested Mexican hero deal with the guns of Juanma? 4 of his 5 losses by knockout. Marquez said he'll start fast, take the fight to Lopez, look for the knockout. Lopez expects a war and feels the right hook will be his telling punch because of the way Marquez comes in. He throws those left hooks and double hooks to the body and opens himself up. Lopez in the blue with the white and black trim. Marquez in the red with the gold and silver trim. Marquez, the brilliant technician with power, feels conditioning will be key for 12 rounds.
And this crowd chanting already Mexico on behalf of Rafael Marquez. We'll see if the crowd being behind him is helpful.
Lopez, the lefty, believes Marquez's plan is to take him deep and tire him out with an aggressive, fast pace, but Lopez predicted he'll win by late KO.
Already a jab from Marquez and immediately a counter right hook that missed by Lopez.
And it was lightning fast.
Yeah,
you know,
it was.
Very rarely do a southpaw have a strong right hand. So that makes him just that much more dangerous.
Both sharp, precise punchers. Lopez, the younger, fresher, taller guy, but remember that chin is suspect. And you know Marquez will land punches. And he's got that hard, fast right hand.
And early in this fight, a big issue will be Marquez's chin. Can he handle the power of Lopez, who is a naturally bigger and stronger fighter?
Marquez does have a good history against southpaws. He stopped Tim Austin and Mark Too Sharp Johnson, beat Johnson twice. Those were excellent fighters, but did they punch like Lopez?
Marquez just got in a very nice left hook that was very quick and couldn't be countered by Lopez.
I mean, these fans are a bit antsy tonight. I mean, this is the first round, and normally it's a fill-out round.
They want action.
Right now.
So far, Marquez has landed several very quick shots and effective punches.
Well, Lopez knows as hard as he hits, he just can't get inside and trade with this guy. He's got to fight smart, and that's what he's attempting to do here. And Marquez knows if he attacks, he can't be reckless.
It seems like both of them have a great deal of respect, as well as they should.
And I think they're like everybody in this arena. We're all on pins and needles waiting for the first punch that hurts somebody, and you feel it's coming any second.
We hit 30 seconds left in round 1. Right. Left hand got into the chin by Marquez, but not a hard punch. Little quick exchange here, heading for the bell. Well, let's see if this is a harbinger of things to come. Let's check out Al's keys to victory.
For Rafael Marquez, survive early. Well, he's got to avoid getting hit with something really big early in this fight. Got through round 1, that's for sure. Got to keep his left hand up. He did that pretty well. Didn't get hit with any real big right hooks. And the right hand is his ticket to victory in this fight, even though he landed good left hooks in round 1. For Manuel Lopez, the power shots earlier are important, and toward the end of that round, he started to land some. As you pointed out, Steve, he can't ignore the defense. He's got to be careful when he attacks Marquez. And the right hook to counter Marquez's left hook, he tried it a few times in round 1. At the end of the round, it became a little bit of a messier brawl, and I don't know that that doesn't help Lopez. Now, both men landed hooks, the left hook by Marquez and the right hook by Lopez.
And Rafael Marquez walked a little stiff-legged back to his corner after the exchange that ended round one.
Steve, you know what? I saw that he was hurt. I mean, Lopez landed some good shots over there. And also early in the round, Marquez missed with a couple right hands just by a little bit.
Lopez likes to work from mid-range, firing his combinations more effective when he puts his punches together. Tight punches like that. Dynamite in both hands. The right hook, a key weapon. It's put a lot of guys down. Marquez complaining that that was back of the head.
Yeah, that right hook is landing in the back of the head. I don't know if Marquez leaning forward or what, but he's landed it twice right in the back.
Tony Weeks taking charge.
Tony Weeks, a very fine referee, as was Robert Byrd in our first fight. Marquez does not want to allow himself to get back against the ropes as he was earlier.
Lopez taking the initiative. Everybody expects an all-action shootout. A good right hook to the head by Lopez.
And Marquez landed a nice right hand, so both men got their weapons in.
Here we go. Fireworks.
But I tell you, man, it looks like Lopez power is going to be the signature advantage punch.
Marquez complaining again that the hook went to the back of the head. Lopez continues to be the aggressor. Left hook to the jaw by Marquez.
That's the key question, and that's why I said survive early for Marquez. Can he deal with the power of Lopez?
Lopez, a terrific all-around fighter, can box or brawl, would rather box, but two of his last three fights were slugfests.
And the one thing Marquez didn't want was this to be a battle of the hooks. Because if he only can rely on his left hook, he probably isn't going to win this fight. He's got to land that right hand at some point.
And for Marquez to be more effective, he's got to establish that jab.
Yeah.
And he's landed some good jabs, but just not enough jabs, you know. He just got to stick with his game plan and stay away from that monstrous right hook.
Both are risk takers. Big reason why this should be very exciting from start to finish. And Marquez can absorb a lot of punishment. For Marquez, it is win at all costs. Final seconds of round two. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. it's Showtime's Emmy-winning series Inside the NFL. James Brown, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, and Warren Sapp will recap all the week's action.
And this NFL season has been a barn burner, I'll tell you already. And not enough side stories outside the field on. This is where Marquez complained about a blow to the back of the head. Now, that was kind of a cuffing punch. So there wasn't a lot happening. And then later on, we saw power from Lopez.
Oh, yeah, it was a great exchange by both fighters, but I think the Lopez punches did a little bit more damage.
So much at stake. Can the 35-year-old Rafael Marquez live out his dream? Will he win his third division title? Juan Manuel Lopez, his undefeated record on the line, his superstar status on the line, Puerto Rican pride on the line.
Marquez got him.
Well, that's a telling statistic. So many more power punches being landed by Lopez. But as, you know, some of the jabs of Marquez have gotten there, but not enough of those power punches.
Marquez got in a pretty good right hand at the end of the round. And Lopez, you know, respected him and held his glove up, but Marquez wasn't having any of it.
No, he was not.
I noticed he attempted to touch Marquez's glove. Marquez just turned his back on him.
Now, remember in the last fight, we saw Bernabe Concepcion put Lopez down early in the fight. Then Lopez came back to knock him out, of course. Oh, my, there's that hook by Marquez.
That's a sweet left hook. I mean, he's known for the right hand, but that left hook is great as well.
Well, Marquez has a great left hook. It's just when he throws it as his main weapon, he tends to open himself up so much.
That's what Lopez is thinking. Lopez missing wildly with the right. A countering left hook to the chest by Marquez.
That was a good combination by Marquez. He has to start.
Oh, double left hook. Man.
Crowd oohing and eyeing with every punch.
There's a lot of opportunities for Marquez to counter the right hook of Lopez. Stick that jab out there. Lopez is going to throw that right hook automatically, and then he can come over top or something.
Here we go. Time in. Go.
Tony Weeks trying to crack down on any roughhouse tactics early on.
They're both complaining about what the other fighter is doing. You know, this is a battle.
And Lopez ran into a right hand then. I think he was more off balance, but he did land a good shot then.
And Marquez looked at Lopez as if to say, I'm not in trouble.
Oh, there's a great shot by Lopez, but as we've said, Marquez really can absorb punishment. He's so good at giving and taking.
Marquez is landing some good counter punches right when you think he's hurt.
And most of them are the left hook. You know, he may win this fight with that hook. He might do it. It's harder for him, but he can land it.
Again, that could have been construed as a shot to the back of the head by Lopez.
That's what I wanted to point out. I thought Weeks was going to give him another warning.
He looked at him, but didn't say anything.
Great right hook a moment ago, a counter punch by Lopez. Hey, this is a very good fight, and how interesting. These two great warriors.
Final seconds, round 3. It's getting very interesting now.
In the last round, Juan Manuel Lopez landing a straight left hand that knocked Marquez off balance, but here's where he showed that he was not going to be hurt, and then we take a look at it here to see it again.
It was a good punch. He caught him. Watch this. Right hand. He ran right into it. So you never can count Marquez out, even when you land a good shot on him.
Okay, now you got to keep boxing now. Okay, you're hitting first, and then he's hitting you back. So you got to protect yourself after that. Let him set the pace, and then you come in. Velocity, and you need one. You need a good 1, 2, 3 punch for him.
Felix
1 or 2.
telling us what Daniel Zaragoza is saying. Thank you, Felix. No knockdowns thus far in the fight, but Marquez stumbling across the ring. 1:50 into round 3 from the big Lopez left hand. Round 4 scheduled for 12. The chants of Mexico ringing out from the crowd. Now Marquez complaining to the back of the head. Lopez just moves on in on him. Lopez opens up. Says, bring it on, Rafael. Lopez feeling very confident.
You wonder if Lopez feels he's the more powerful fighter in there right now. He's been hit with big punches by Marquez. Maybe he's not hurt, and maybe he feels he can't be hurt. I don't know.
Straight right there by Marquez.
No, he's hurting him, but I thought that round he took those punches a little bit better. But Lopez is opening up on him in this round right here.
Lopez really wants to prove a point that he does have a good chin. He's sick and tired of hearing about this so-called suspect chin.
Well, he has been resilient, that's for sure. He still has a 0 at the end of the loss part of his record.
So how can you argue with him? Right, 29-0. Weeks getting in Lopez's face again.
It's going to be important for Marquez to land something big to stop this momentum, because as these rounds go on, Lopez gets more and more confident.
Lopez has to be careful every time Weeks steps in. Sometimes Marquez lets loose, and Lopez looks away.
The Marquez jab has not been effective last round or so.
Oh, and Lopez is rocked. Another left hook, a right hand to the jaw. Lopez disoriented, temporarily dazed. He got another shot in Marquez. Another. Right hands are landing. A left hook lands by Marquez. What a round for Marquez. Lopez looks a little unsteady. But he's battling back, and he hits him to the back of the head. This might be a point.
But this works in Lopez's favor. It gives him a chance, in a way, to clear the cobwebs.
And this is when the experience, he has to keep his cool. The referee is in complete control of this fight. Lopez don't want to do anything silly to cause him a disqualification or something. He's arguing with the referee.
And this could be a 10-7 round if Marquez keeps coming. But that gave Lopez a chance to clear his head, even though it was the correct call by Weeks.
And as I was mentioning earlier, he was getting more and more confident, Al. He got overconfident and got caught. We all know about his vulnerability.
Another pop by Marquez. Lopez really slowed down here. And he continues to give an earful to Tony Weeks.
Okay, just sit down. Let's relax. Okay.
Well, Rafael Marquez has landed some very good left hooks in this bout. None as good as this one. Perfect on the point of the chin. And he had him in trouble, and then would land another good straight right hand in the sequence after that. You see it again. Great leverage on that hook.
Yeah, you know, he was there. He felt really good. He was winning that round hands down. But Marquez, the experience kicked in. He stayed his head, kept his head in the fight.
And a point deduction from Tony Weeks will come here. Well, there was a point deduction after that, and that added to the woes of Juan Manuel Lopez.
Too many shots by Lopez to the back of Marquez's head, and it backfired on Lopez. Now round 5, coming off that terrific 4th round for the Mexican warrior in red, Rafael Marquez.
And we want to point out that Juan Manuel Lopez, his resiliency is pretty amazing. When he fought Rogers Matagua, he was so hurt in the 12th round that he was out on his feet for 3 minutes, still managed to finish the fight. So don't count him out. And you see the power punches in the last round.
I mean, they both just exchanged left hooks. Both fighters seem to be hurt.
As the action heats up, round 5. Lopez missing with a straight left hand.
And there's a lot of swelling under the right eye of Rafael Marquez for some of those left hands of Lopez.
Lopez looks over to his corner and says, I can't believe this.
He's bemused by that, but it's for pushing down on Rafael Marquez's head.
And Lopez has to stay composed here. It's a big fight. He can't be overtaken by things that are going on in the ring with the referee. Your fight is with Marquez. Take care of business.
Oh, what a left hook by Marquez to the chin.
And then a right hand.
Another left hook. A straight left counter by Lopez. Lopez hitting the gloves of Marquez.
It seems like Marquez is giving Lopez some angles, and he's turning right into a punch that he can't see, and he's been effective with that.
And I also think that Lopez so preoccupied with landing that right hook that he's leaving himself open for the left hook of Marquez.
It was Lopez who looked kind of cocky and confident earlier on, but the proverbial tide looks to be turning. Lopez going to the body with the straight left.
And you know, one thing we haven't seen much of. Oh,
Good right hand by Marquez.
We haven't seen that much body work by either man. That one was low by Marquez.
Yeah, they're all going for the knockout.
Yeah. Why worry about those pesky body punches? There's a couple.
Weeks with another warning. And they just continue to slug away.
Lopez seemed like he's having some success with an overhand left. And he's coming around Marquez's jab. His guard right now.
And you know, we have to accept that this is a fight that could change 4 or 5 more times at any second.
Lopez has to be careful. Looks to be squaring up as he lets fly with a series of right hands.
Okay. Take some deep air. Okay. Hear me, hear me. We're working okay. We're just working good.
Let's go back to round 4, where there was a point deducted from this man, Juan Manuel Lopez. That was for pushing down on the head and then punching. And that was where Tony Weeks took the point away. And then had to give him a warning later about that as well. That's what made that a 10-8 round.
Nothing quite like the atmosphere of a big fight in Las Vegas, especially when it's Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Highly spirited crowd and tremendous action. Took a little longer there than usual in that Lopez corner. As we enter round 6, scheduled for 12, WBO Featherweight Championship.
Lopez told us when we talked to him, you know, it's going to become a war at some point in this fight. We want to both box and show our skills, but it's going to be a war, and guess what? That's exactly what it is.
And even though Lopez was hurt in round 4, I think he came back pretty good in round 5.
I agree.
It's a very, very close fight.
I've got it dead even at this point because of the 2-point round for Marquez. And
so now round 6. Let's see what this one presents.
now at that time, Marquez got caught trying to throw a left hook to the body. It was slow. He squared himself up and got hit with a left hand by Lopez. Sports media's total punches in this fight. Lopez outlanding Marquez and throwing more.
Yeah, I think those are early rounds where he looks as if he dominated round 1 through 3, but it's getting closer now.
Lopez with a very high work rate.
Let's not forget he's 27 years old. Marquez is 35. You have to put your mind set in the Lopez camp. How many times can Marquez go to the well with fights like these? You know, it has to be take a toll on you eventually.
But there's Marquez and there's the rest of the boxing community, right? The way he thinks. So determined, so fierce.
This round, a change in tactics by Lopez. He has gone to the straight left much more, and that's a safer way for him to fight. Doesn't open himself up so much with those right hooks, and it's been very effective here in round 6 for him.
We approach a minute remaining in round 6.
That's where it seems to be dangerous for Lopez inside, because you know Marquez is trying to set him up with a devastating counterpunch. Outside, it seems like Lopez has some advantage.
Nice inside uppercut by Lopez. That's one of his strengths.
It's been a great round for Lopez, and he's ripping shots in there.
Marquez doing his best, but he's being tied up, smothered by the punches of Lopez. Right hand off the side of the head by Lopez. Marquez taking a step back near the ropes, feeling the sting of those punches. Nice sequence for Lopez.
Yeah, it seemed like he came out this round determined to put some hurt on Marquez.
It's the return of the Super Six. Arthur Abraham versus Carl Froch plus Super Six leader Andre Ward against Sakio Bika. Two great matchups.
We're so looking forward to that. The Froch-Abraham fight really could be one of the best of the year. We're looking at one of the best of the year right now, too. Now, the left became a very important weapon for Lopez. He got hit with the jab, but he's throwing that left hand and throwing it straight and throwing it well.
He's not that fast. When you go in there, just use the velocity. We need to use more rhythm and more velocity.
That's the voice of Daniel Zaragoza, his trainer, a former bantamweight champion, a Hall of Famer, who even sparred with Marquez, even at his age, because his style's so similar to Juan Manuel Lopez.
Couldn't have a better guy in your corner. A southpaw, two-time world champ, 17-year Hall of Fame career. Let's take a look at the press row scoring.
That's intriguing. I have Lopez ahead by 1 point in this fight.
You know, I have it scored every round for Lopez, other than the fourth round, when it was a 2-point round. I mean, it seems like Lopez has just done more in those rounds outside of the rounds he was hurt.
Yeah, and you can make a strong case for that.
Marquez indicating to Tony Weeks those shots were rabbit shots.
You know, Marquez looks fatigued, but he's still landing some very good left hooks.
Oh, he's
holding and hitting, yeah.
Well, you can never count Marquez out, right? No matter how exhausted he might look.
This is a great sequence here. Both men doing some really good work. Lopez landing with more power.
But it's Lopez coming forward.
Yeah, Lopez right now is landing some punches. I think it's taking something away. Those uppercuts inside.
That rocked Marquez. Those short, snappy punches inside by Lopez.
These are great exchanges.
What a left hook to the jaw out of nowhere by Marquez.
He's tough, and the experience in the counter-punching is where he has his most success, when you think he's hurt the most.
That stopped Lopez in his tracks. But now he continues to come forward. There's no quitting. Lopez, another left hook to the chin by Marquez.
Look at Marquez's feet. They're squaring up when they're inside. I mean, that shows that he's getting a little weak, and it's from those body shots.
And that's what he does and gets himself in trouble. But I'll tell you what, they're both landing some big shots in here.
Furious exchange. Back comes Lopez with a blistering attack. Marquez missing with the left. Oh, what a left hand by Lopez. He's got Marquez up against the rope right above us.
Marquez is taking a serious beating right here.
Oh, and then he comes back with a left hand to Lopez's head.
Marquez can land the left hook often. It's not hurting Lopez as much right now.
Now it's non-stop, sustained action. And it's two-way action, but it's Lopez pouring it on. Marquez steps away. Another warning from Tony Weeks.
You know what? He's taking a massive beating. It's a one-way action. This is all Lopez. These shots are taking so much from Marquez.
Oh, rough round for Marquez. Big one for Lopez.
You got to keep with your defense. You can't let it go. Your defense is a quality. You have to stop him with something. You got to stop him with something.
Juan Manuel Lopez, early in this round, got nailed with a left hook there, but he pushed Marquez back. And then Marquez showing us that left hook is available to him. That was a perfect left hook, but it didn't slow Lopez down. And Lopez pushing ahead, and both men exchanging great punches. And then finally, Tony Weeks at the end of the round, giving a warning to Lopez. He is pushing the head of Marquez down a lot, and that's what Weeks is concerned with.
Oh, some vicious shots by Lopez in that last round as we enter round 8. Let's see how Marquez reacts. Lopez certainly got the better of Marquez in that last round, the 7th round.
Wow, that's an astonishing statistic from sports media, because you would think Marquez would have make it closer in the combination department, but Lopez landing a lot more combinations.
Yeah, and Lopez landing some vicious shots. I mean, listen, if it was anybody else other than Marquez, who can change a fight with one punch? You know, I think Weeks will have to be looking at this fight because he's taking vicious head shots.
Another one by Lopez to the head of Marquez. Lopez fast and powerful.
You could feel Marquez trying to set up that left hook. He knows he's got to land a big one to change his fight, and you can see him trying desperately to do it.
And Lopez taking away one of Marquez's strengths, as you mentioned, the combination punching. Now Marquez digging to the body.
Good work inside.
Marquez is a gallant warrior, man, but I'm looking at his feet, and they don't look good. He's tripping over himself, and when you see a fighter get squared up, he's hurt.
That's what he does, and it gets himself in trouble when he does do it.
He did it against Vasquez in the last fight in the 3rd round, but he was in complete command there.
Yes.
Different story.
But then in those middle rounds is when he did get tired and did it again. Both men landing good shots, but Lopez is more powerful. And, you know, the big story here to me is the right hand of Marquez has been completely taken away by Lopez.
Well, he just landed 2 nice right hands, but it don't seem like anything's on it. It's that left hook.
Marquez landing with the left hook. 40 seconds left in the 8th. Stupendous action.
How is Rafael Marquez still standing?
Because he's the pride of Mexico.
That's the reason, I guess. And Marquez still whipping with those left hooks and landing one.
There's a straight right hand by Marquez. Oh, and he's flopping around. He tripped over Lopez. Lopez comes back with the left hands. It's non-stop.
I think Lopez needs to invest in the body if he really want to get Marquez out of there.
Final seconds of round 8. Lopez trying to get Marquez to the canvas, but he refuses to go. Marquez looking disoriented. Finally, they get him back to the corner.
Well, this is why he was disoriented. He took some monstrous punches by Lopez. But as you see, Marquez also landing off those ropes. And that's what made this round so interesting and appealing. Lopez, who has a great offensive arsenal, also landing the uppercuts on the inside. Both of these men do everything good offensively, don't they?
Yeah, but I just like to see Marquez do a little bit more moving. I think Lopez are winning these rounds, but it goes once in a while, those counter punches.
One of the all-time Puerto Rican greats, 4-time world champion, trying to cheer Lopez on.
They've become good friends, and he's a confidant of Lopez, and it's a great boxing.
That's it. Well, that's it. They're stopping the fight. Marquez will not answer the bell for round 9, and it's all over. And look at the emotional reaction by Lopez. It looks like it might be a shoulder injury. He's holding that right shoulder. What a shame it has to end this way.
Especially when it was such a gallant effort by Rafael Marquez.
But I think he put it all out there. You know, the younger fighter was coming on strong, even though he was just one counterpunch away from changing the whole night.
True.
But Lopez was winning those rounds decisively.
1 Manuel Lopez, hoisted into the air, winning the most important fight of his career. The Puerto Rican superstar, now truly among boxing's elite, denies the great Rafael Marquez a third division title. And a tough way for things to end here tonight for the great Rafael Marquez.
And what's fascinating is, as Antonio pointed out, he was always one counterpunch away from turning the fight around, even though he was taking a lot of punishment.
Lopez remaining undefeated and retaining the belt.
Now here we're at the end of the round, and there is where Rafael Marquez, and that's part of the reason why he ended up going in the wrong direction. He had already complaining about his shoulder, and obviously that became the reason they stopped the fight as Daniel Zaragoza leads him back.
Yeah, I can only speculate, but it looks like he was throwing a lot of overhand rights and lefts, and, you know, sometimes when you're in the heat of the battle, your adrenaline flowing, it's very easy for you to pull a muscle. In my last fight, I did, so I understand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You were injured. And, you know, that right hand, he stopped throwing it during a certain portion of this fight. We said it was taken away by Lopez. It may have also been taken away by an injury that was starting.
So they are celebrating in Puerto Rico as this fight ends before the start of the 9th round, as Rafael Marquez can't answer the bell with an injured right shoulder.
It was thrilling in many parts of this fight. It was just what we would have expected from this fight. And they etched their names next to all those great Puerto Rican and Mexican warriors.
Stirring action indeed, as we send it up to our Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official word. Jim?
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 8 with Marquez unable to continue. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, still undefeated and still the WBO featherweight champion of the world, Juan Manuel Lopez.